Hi, I'm Ian,
And I'm Judah.
and this is Amateur Film Critics. Watching movies from way back when.
Um. Okay, so we were discussing whether or not to have a theme song.
But then I decided to put one in anyway.
Yeah. I was sort of on the edge of no, and he was on the edge of
Yes.
that. That was what you were on the edge of, was just film critics.
Please do not make fun. Oh, that sounded...
Yeah, that was
worse.
bad. I can do better, but I won't. Not tonight.
Okay.
So, today, we are...
One of our podcasts, but we're doing it on the Great Muppet Caper, and I know that's not called a classic, but our original one was 2001: A Space Odyssey, but then we recorded it, and then turns out the audio got jumbled.
Yeah, it was kind of a mess.
Yeah, and so we just threw it out. Well, we didn't delete it, but maybe we will release it sometime in the future. But anyways, this is technically episode 1.
Yeah. So we have a lost pilot episode.
Yeah, we have a lost pilot episode.
A really good movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
It's
I would
on HBO
absolutely
Max.
recommend it.
Go if you have HBO Max, it's on there. You can go watch it.
Yeah.
We aren't sponsored by them, but I'm just plugging that in real fast. Okay.
Yeah. So the Great Muppet Caper, one of Zion's favorite Muppet movie.
It is my favorite Muppet movie.
Yeah. So honestly,
we were gonna do it. Well, he wanted to do it on the first one, but then I was like, no, this one's way more.
I just wanted to do the Muppet movie because it sort of like set off a big franchise of movies.
But this one is way more interesting than that one.
Yeah.
I felt like
So I bent, and we decided to do the Great Muppet Caper.
Yes.
So we're doing the Great Muppet Caper. Next week we'll have a much more famous movie, but this week we're gonna go a little more low key.
A little more low key. Okay.
So we open on 3. They're like in a hot air balloon.
Yeah. But before
for no
that,
reason.
Before that, the opening shot is a parody of the MGM Lion. That's before most of their films, but instead it's with animal eating the red sign and not the lion. Okay.
Yeah.
But then it cuts to the Great Muppet car.
Yeah. So they're in a hot air balloon, and I want to point out something because they're in the hot air balloon for no reason.
They just have to open the movie with some way. Oh, and a little thing about this film. This was technically Jim Henson's directorial debut as a director. And so he did work on the first one, but he technically didn't direct that one. And so
yeah,
this is his official directorial debut in a movie. So.
Yeah, that's super interesting. So we start.
And before we start, this movie got made because they had ended the Muppet Show at this point, and so Jim Henson wanted to work on a little film called The Dark Crystal, but they wouldn't allow him to make it unless he made another Muppet movie, and so this is how this film got made. Okay, back to Judah.
Yeah, so they're in this hot air balloon, and one of my favorite parts about this is that they straight up immediately break the fourth wall.
Yes, it happens quite a lot during this movie.
Yeah, but I think it's just interesting because I feel like that was less
it
popular
was less
to do
common back then.
So I think that was one of the way that this movie, I mean, it obviously wasn't pioneering that much, but I think that's one of the way this movie was ahead of its time and so unique.
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong. We were we're 16 years old. We don't know much about what happened before our time, but
that's because we weren't alive. Okay, so during the opening, I have some facts here about when they're actually in the balloon. One of them, during one of the talking scenes, Bossy asks Kermit, what does BSE stand for? And Kermit says, I don't know. Well, that actually stands for the British Society of Cinematographers, in case you were interested. And then, so then after the credits roll, they asked, what do we do now? Well, they lower the balloon down and it crashes. Well, the fact about that part is that during one of the tests, the basket of the balloon actually tipped over and it damaged the Fozzie Bear puppet.
Oh, poor
and
Fozzie.
So they had to they had to go get help, and so someone fixed that, and I think they called her the like Muppet Doctor after that, or I don't know, but I just found that funny that it tipped over.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, so moving past these just opening like credits where they're breaking the fourth wall, not much happens. We get to this like first song that really sets up the movie, and at the beginning of the song they still haven't started like the main story. It's still them talking about the movies happening,
and so
but basically
think of like, hey, a movie. I'm not gonna sing all of it, but
I actually forgot what the song even sounds like. So
I think we have to talk about the soundtrack of this film. The soundtrack of this film is phenomenal. I think this one has the best songs. It has some great songs.
I mean,
I have already listened to these songs
good
on their
songs.
own from time to time, so they're pretty good.
Yeah. Obviously, I would not say the songs are like, the best ever, but I would say it's pretty good. I'll give it that.
Catchy. I thought they were catchy.
I'll give it that. I
thought they were
catchy's a good word.
They were very catchy. Okay.
But moving on, so we don't spend the entire time on this like
opening
before
scene.
The plot even starts.
Before the plot even starts.
We reveal that Kermit and Fozzie are
reporters.
And
Gonzo.
Well, Gonzo's the photographer.
Yeah, but they're
which is
like
why it goes the entire
reporters
film.
of a news editor. And during this opening scene, we found out that Lady Holiday's jewels get stolen, and all the other newspapers are reported about that. But their newspaper is twins working on the Chronicles to adapt, even though they aren't twins. It's a bear and a frog.
Which I would say that was a pretty...
That was a corny joke, but...
That was a very corny joke. And I gotta say, I can't remember what point in the movie they do this, but they show a picture of what's supposed to be Fozzie and Kermit's dad.
Yeah, but it's a mixture of the two of them.
It's a mixture of Kermit and Fozzie. And it's absolutely terrifying, in my opinion. I did not like that picture.
You want to look it up. It's... creepy.
You don't need to see a frog and a
it's very creepy. Okay, so I believe they get fired, and so they're in England because they want to get a report of Lady Holiday.
So they don't get fired. Do they get fired? Oh, that's so sad. If they did get fired, I'm not sure if they got fired or not, but they do go to England to get the report.
We'll say this: the plot is a little jumbled. Sometimes the plot doesn't make sense, but I thought it was really good.
But we also have to remember at the same time that the last movie we watched before this was 2001: A Space Odyssey. A movie where every single thing feels like it was very important in hand place.
Yeah.
even though it probably wasn't, because there's a lot of random crud in that other movie. But we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about this.
This is
the
not
Great
2001.
Muppet Caper.
No, this is the Great Muppet Caper. So they go to England. Probably missed a few plot points, but they're in England.
They're in England,
and
so
they end up at the Happiness Hotel.
Wait. But before that, they get to England. Well, they're on the plane, but the plane doesn't stop at England. The plane stops at Italy. So they are literally thrown into the water.
There should be lawsuits there, I must say. That was pretty rude.
They were in boxes though, so the boxes.
Yeah, and they're technically animals. I don't know what Gonzo is. I think he's an alien, but that's a whole different Muppet movie.
Yeah, that's Muppets from Sub Ace, I believe.
Muppets are
yeah.
How do I remember that? I have watched very little Muppets content in my life. Though I will say, while we're on here, 2015 ABC The Muppet series. It was a parody of The Office. I think that was a really good show. That was pretty good.
Everyone said
all
it was
the
terrible,
moms hated it because it showed Kermit drinking and
But
it was a pretty good show.
Yeah.
And I totally think they should bring it back. It only got one season. So.
Yeah, and it left us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it did. But it's on Disney Plus. I would recommend it, but it's not a kid.
It's not something for everyone, but it still is I feel like this is the closest we've gotten to a good Muppets thing since, I don't know,
a lot of the older stuff,
Yeah, it feels like.
Yeah, it was a new take on the Muppets. But that's not what we're talking about. We're getting so off track.
We get so off track.
This is only our second time trying that. I'm sorry if we get jumbled. We start talking over each other. If Zion does not talk into his mic.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm watching him and I'm having to go over there and adjust his mic. That's us breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
We're so ahead of our time. No. But so they end up at the Happiness Hotel. It's a really cruddy hotel. But that's where you meet literally every other Muppet other than Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all in this one hotel.
And the song they sing is
another good one.
Pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, I would say so. I did not spend that much time analyzing the music.
No kitchen anymore.
Okay, hey, no, copyright, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I doubt we're gonna get claims. Nobody's gonna watch this. If you're watching this, thanks for watching, dudes. Congratulations, you just found 2 gems.
Hey, you found us talk about
the Great Muppet Caper.
Muppet Caper.
Yes. So not much happens at the Happiness Hotel other than they get a room for while they're in England.
Yeah. And
then they go to meet Miss Holiday, which is where, before they get there, we get a little taste of how Miss Holiday is. And she's this very serious business. That's my best description of her.
So Miss Piggy comes in to audition to be a model, but instead she gets a secretary job.
Yeah,
and then
I think receptionist is what they call it.
Yeah, a receptionist. And then they break another fourth wall because Lady Holiday basically sets up what's gonna go down.
Yeah, she talks about her brother out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere,
who,
just
in case you're wondering, her brother is the thief.
Yeah,
what a shocker!
What a shocker!
Yeah, her
brother. The actor who plays her brother, though, was actually in some other 80s films. He was the dad in Beethoven, and he was in Clifford with Martin Short, I believe. So,
jeez, Zion.
So
Zion has a lot of obscure pop culture knowledge, y'all. I'm just warning you.
Yeah, but he was pretty young in this one.
Yeah,
he gets older in those films. So
yeah, and
anyways,
after Miss Piggy is left alone, on her first day,
and then Kermit comes in and mistakes her for Lady Holiday, but Miss Piggy doesn't tell him.
Yeah, Miss Piggy straight up lies.
And so they kind of set up a date right then and there.
Yeah, they set up a date for Kermit to interview, in quotation marks, her. And from there, there's this immediate connection with Kermit and Miss Piggy, by the way. You can tell they both like each other. I ship it. But yeah. After that, we kind of just cut to them.
We got to them
preparing
for
the
the date.
Oh,
and so,
actually,
oh wait,
before
wait. We kind of skipped a few parts.
Well, I think the big part is that 3 of the models who don't like Lady Holiday, was that her Mrs. Holiday something? They reveal that they're gonna help steal diamonds from Miss Holiday. In, like, a
but you're also
conversation.
forgetting the cab scene.
That's not plot.
Where they go into the
important,
cab,
though.
and then it's the cab driver is like Beauregard, which isn't in a lot of Muppet stuff, but he basically drives it's a really bad cab driver, and he drives through the doors of the Happiness Hotel.
He drives through the doors of the Happiness
Hotel. And then
Hotel.
after that, they reveal that every other Muppet now knows about Criminal Lady Holiday or fake Lady Holiday's date.
Yeah.
But they think it's real. Okay. Anyways.
And they reveal it. And we have this little scene with Kermit getting all prepared for his day. There's a song.
Oh,
I think. Is there a song? I'm not sure.
Yes, there's a song, and I have just like one fact about that song. It's not very interesting, but so during the song, there's a scene of like Kermit's shadow dancing up the wall.
Yeah.
And apparently that took 43 takes.
Oh my gosh. I would have given up, honestly. If I
would have given up on that.
What's his name? Jim Henson? And I was directing that, and it took them 43 takes. I think I would have said, okay, we don't need the small little gag. Because what happens in it is Kermit's shadow doesn't do what Kermit was doing and just dances.
And apparently that.
But you don't need all that. Like, that's a lot of extra.
But Jim Henson was a good director, though.
Yeah, he had dedication.
You can't diss Jim Henson.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm sitting here looking at a Jim Henson Funko Pop. I'm not dissing Jim Henson. Like,
yeah,
legit. But then this is actually, we come up with one of my favorite scenes, which is Miss Piggy breaking into an expensive house because she's supposed to be the rich Lady Holiday or whatever. And so we cut to these two. There are these two
there's two
rich couple,
people,
and
one of the rich couple is John Cleese, who was actually who actually guest starred on one of the Muppet Show episodes.
Really, I did not know that.
Yes, and he was also in Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I did see that movie.
Yeah.
I fell asleep during it. I'm sorry. I thought the bunny scene at the end of it was funny. We might have to do that movie at one point. Maybe after a little time, so there's longer time in between when I last saw it. But yeah. So after
Miss Piggy is breaking into this house. And then...
Miss Piggy breaks dances in this house, and I love the couple because you can tell they just. I don't know. I don't know if they're not happy with each other or if they're just both depressed simultaneously.
Because
but
they talk
the couple
about how like all the pets have died of the
they
butler.
So nonchalantly bring up the pets dying into me and how they let go of the butler. I'm like, why did they let go of the butler? They have a giant house. They need that butler.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the couple, and I also just enjoyed Miss Piggy climbing up the side of their house and then breaking and entering essentially. I found that really funny, and so Miss Piggy lets in Kermit because the couple wasn't expecting anyone,
right?
So they don't even bother to get up and answer the door. It was weird. But Miss Piggy answers the door for them. And then proceeds to give Kermit a tour of the house.
Of a house
not
she
hers.
doesn't own.
Yeah. Which finally, and I was like a little worried as Piggy pulls Kermit into the closet. I felt that's a place where I don't want the Muppets to go, is the closet. Yeah, but anyway, they hide in a closet and the guy opens it. And he says, "Oh, can I help you in any way?" or something like that. Like he's very polite about these.
And then he mentions
people.
He recommends them a restaurant,
but it's really more of a summer club.
Yeah.
You just have to watch the movie to get that one. We're not explaining that one.
Okay, and then
So then we go
cut
to the
like,
big moment, the date.
the big date.
Yes.
In which
So they go to
talk
this
about how the
restaurant.
food is very expensive,
Mhm.
and Kermit compares the roast beef to the certain car and a certain car. I don't remember the name of the actual car, but apparently it costs like $9,000 than like real life.
Jeez. Well, actually,
But
for
that
a
was
car, $9,000 is not
It
the
may have been.
worst. For
For
roast
a
beef,
roast
though,
beef?
it's bad. Yeah. But not much happens before the gigantic dance number with Miss Piggy. Because then we do this long dance number with Miss
Yeah.
Piggy.
Oh, we forgot. So they they drive there with
The
all the
drive
other
doesn't matter, though.
but it has all the other Muppets.
Yeah,
but
because they said
the only
all the
Muppets-
other Muppets could come.
Yeah, but then the only other Muppets in the actual club are just Miss Piggy,
Yeah.
Kermit, Fozzie, and Gonzo.
That's a great
which I
point. You don't
thought
even
was
see them in the
really weird.
background.
No, you
They
don't
just
see them in the
They
background.
left them in the
just
car like a
ditched
puppy
them.
dog or something. Oh my. Oh yeah. So, but once we're in the day and there's this whole dance number, we see Miss Holiday, and then her slacker brother or whatever
her brother
is there, and her slacker brother
falls in love with Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
And then they sing
He
another
gets the
song.
hots for Miss Piggy. Who's getting the hots for Miss Piggy?
Well, it is
like-
a Muppet movie.
It is a Muppet movie.
They also have a Muppet. They also have a musical number of Miss Piggy
Yes.
dancing, which pretty
yeah,
good
and
song
but
as
it's during
well.
that musical number that
Yeah, where he falls in love.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good musical number.
And this is the first point in which we realize that Miss Holiday is the only one in this movie really turned off by Miss Piggy in a way.
Yeah,
Everybody
basically.
else in the
Everybody else
movie
loves her.
like fawns over Miss Piggy.
The
and you see
first
that later. That'll
time
come
you
back.
see her.
But
I'm not gonna
what did
sing
you
the
just
entire
say?
song. It's the song they sing in the movie.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to
You really
replay it
remember
to him
each
later.
and every one of the songs, do you?
It's a catchy soundtrack.
It is. I'll give it that.
Got
I'll
the
give it
best
that
songs in
again.
any Muppet movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But big drama happens as all of a sudden the lights turn out.
Then the lights turn out, and
And
then
Miss Holiday's
Gonzo
jewels.
gets a photograph of the jewels stolen.
Yeah.
In which
But that's later because the jewels get stolen. That's the
yeah.
big point that happens.
that's the big point, and
Yeah.
they find out that Piggy's not actually Miss Holiday.
Yeah, Miss Piggy runs away before she gets faced by Kermit.
Yes, and then we see a shot of her walking. Now that is one of the only 3 shots where that's not actually a puppet. That's like a person in a costume.
I think I could name the other
Walking away.
two.
Okay, what's the other 2? I
The
know the other 2.
bicycle scene and then the motorbike scene at the end, right?
Wait,
Would those be it?
hey, you got the motorbike one right. The other one is. We'll talk about the other one when we get to the other part.
Okay, yeah.
Because the other one is probably during one of my favorite scenes in the film. Okay.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So Miss Piggy storms off, and
Thumbs off.
and we like
then
cut, and we find
cut.
out that Gonzo has a
That's a photograph.
photograph. Mm-hmm.
And so we
And
see
so
them trying
because
to.
they have the photograph, they
These
realize
are,
that
like-
it's her brother who's stealing.
Yeah. And
But
so
the photograph gets ruined.
ruined because
the
they
lights.
choose to do it like in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But then all the other Muppet characters are like banging on the door. Who's using the bathroom? We gotta
go to the bathroom.
we gotta use the bathroom. It's a really funny scene in the movie. But
Yeah. But it ruins the photograph, so they have no proof.
yeah, so they have enough food. Hey, what's going on in here? Damn. And it's
You have to talk louder from the mic.
I'm sorry. I'm
Break-
sorry. Okay.
We're getting used to this, y'all. I'm
We're
really
getting
sorry if all of a
used to
sudden we have
this.
stops. But
We're
I'm
getting used to this. That's
Yeah.
because we're talking in the background.
so yeah, so they don't have the proof, but they know that it's her brother. So Kermit decides to go and talk to Miss Piggy in this park.
And so
Now, not much happens
first
other
he
than they make
starts-
up, right?
Well, so first, like, we cut to Kermit sitting on this bench, and we see people walking by, and this girl Reese. Now the two people walking by is actually a cameo by Jerry Nelson, who played some other Muppets. And then that I believe that's his niece or his daughter walking next to him.
But not much happens, and we've cut down the plot points.
Well, we cut to this man who
but that's just a random joke.
But I
the
thought
man's not important. We have to. If we move on, we get to Piggy and Kermit making up. They talk. I did not focus much this part. I'm gonna be honest. And then I did catch the Jim Henson cameo in the restaurant, though.
Oh yeah, we forgot. To
I know we
about
missed that, but
we missed that
there was a nice Jim Henson.
There was a nice
I caught
Jim
that
Henson
in my half watching of this movie. But they make up in the park. Back to that. They make up in the park,
and then they
ride these
bicycle scene, which this was a pretty spectacular
I want to talk about this
scene to watch.
This is like a very impressive scene because we are seeing puppets literally pedal the bicycles. We're seeing the full body shots of this.
And so
I want to know how they did it badly.
In the first Muppet movie, the only person we see ride a bicycle is Kermit the Frog. While in this one, like literally, we see literally every Muppet character on a bicycle. Yeah. Well, not every Muppet character, but most of them.
Yeah, but and I think this is just a very impressive scene. I think it's
very impressive.
I think it's a hidden gem in a way, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a hidden gem.
I think there needs to be a lot of respect given to the special effects of that.
This is
I don't know how they did it.
Plays in the background as well.
You have so much randomness about this movie that like we do not need to talk about.
You just have to watch this movie.
There's a lot of little things. We're not giving a full take for take recount of this movie.
So then they cut to
a big modeling
show.
scene and the fashion. Fashion. How did I forget that it's called a fashion show?
Fashion show.
I wrote it down in our little thing as modeling scene.
Fashion show
is a modeling scene.
Modeling scene.
Okay. But there's a modeling scene.
Fashion show at lunch.
After basically Piggy tells off Miss Holiday's brother.
Yeah.
Mr. Holiday decides that he's going to frame Piggy.
Well, first he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But then the other thieves talk him into it. And
he didn't want to before when he loved her, but when she told him off, he was done with her. He was like, "You hurt my feelings." So they decide they're gonna frame Piggy. So one of the models fakes an injury, and they give Piggy her outfit.
Yes, and
don't know how it fit,
and so
but it did.
Piggy walks on stage, and then
I found this scene really uncomfortable.
Cut to my favorite scene in the movie.
This is your favorite scene?
Yeah, this was my favorite scene in the movie.
I found it horribly weird.
Happiness, Miss Piggy. I thought it was very entertaining.
I don't need to relive that.
It was very interesting.
Okay, no. But there's a lot to talk about this scene. I think what really turned me off immediately was this uncomfortable Piggy smile that was being faded out for like over a really long period of the beginning part of it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Or do I sound like randomness?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Because the smile on Miss Piggy's face was uncomfortable. It was kind of deadpan.
I didn't think it was uncomfortable. I think we were just cutting to her daydreaming.
Yeah, it was her daydreaming after all.
It was her daydream.
But it's this very long kind of like dance scene. I forgot what it's called when they're like doing like the thing in those pools.
Yeah, they're doing it in the water.
Like, you know what those old ladies do?
Yeah,
that's supposed to be like dancing in a pool, whatever that is.
And they have the puppet underwater, which I thought was pretty impressive.
That was impressive. I don't know how they did that, but that was very impressive. The puppet work is, by the way, this is where we need to talk about this. Yes, the puppet work in this movie
is phenomenal.
It's phenomenal, and it's what makes the Muppets so great. Is because Jim Henson was a genius
at
puppets. With Muppets, I guess that's what they're kindly called.
Yeah, Muppets.
Those big kind of puppets.
Yeah.
But it's so good. Just for that reason alone, the puppet work is amazing.
Yeah.
Oop, bumped the mic. Whoopsie.
And then, and so the other part where it's the guy in a costume is when Piggy jumps off
Mm,
the high tower of those girls spinning.
yeah.
Or that's the other.
Yeah.
That's the
So it's an interesting thing. We'll call it interesting.
It's my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah, but we're gonna move along.
Yeah, we're gonna move along.
When Piggy jumps off the tower, she jumps into the real water that is around the fashion show stage, and everybody comes around her.
And Mr. Holiday puts the diamond in there
in her jacket and brings the jacket out to her.
It was Piggy who took it.
Yeah, and Piggy literally takes the jewels out of the jacket. I want to know. Why are they why do they think it's her if she like literally brought out the jewels in her jacket?
Because they were in her jacket.
Yeah. But like the diamonds weren't even in the necklace. It was just the outline of the necklace.
I don't think you need to explain this too much.
I know. You're right. You know what? This is a Muppet movie.
The Great Muppet Caper. You're digging into plot.
Yeah. I told myself I wouldn't like go too much on like, the fallacies in this movie, but there are quite a few, y'all, and I'm one for realism.
Okay, so then we cut to Gonzo overhears the thief's plan, and he's telling the other Muppets, and so
Gonzo hears the plan, which is they're gonna steal this gigantic baseball diamond from a museum. And so now Gonzo knows, and so the entire Muppets know.
And so, yeah, but then they say, like, they're out or they don't want to do it. Wait.
They're asking who's going to help them stop.
Who's going to help them stop. And then
all the Muppets don't want to help.
I'm out.
And honestly, if someone asked me to come stop a jewel thief, I wouldn't be that I don't want to help. I'd be like, we should call the cops. Because if we just tell them they're going to be there, they can stake it out and they'll see it and they'll be caught red-handed. And then Piggy's free and it's all happy ending tied right up. But this is the Muppet movie. They have to go catch them themselves. Actually, wait, this is the Great Muppet Caper.
The Great Muppet Caper.
Yeah.
And so then we cut to Kermit go visits Piggy in prison.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much to say about this scene.
Yeah, there's not much. They talk about a little there's this uncomfortable kiss between Piggy and Kermit through the glass. I did not need Muppets kissing. No.
It's Kermit and Miss Piggy though, so
I know, and I ship it. I know. I've already said that today, but I don't know if I really need the Muppets to kiss.
Well, we gotta have a romantic relationship.
I don't know. I'll leave it at I don't know.
So then we cut to them saying all the materials. So we cut back and forth.
Yeah, this part doesn't matter.
From the criminals getting their getting their stuff, and then the Muppets saying that they've like lost their materials.
This scene is a 3-minute joke essentially. There's nothing special about this about this scene, but that's what happens. And from there, we get to the museum, and the criminals are doing their thing, and the Muppets are having trouble getting in. But we cut to Miss Piggy, who decides she's gonna break out of jail because she hasn't done. Well, okay, wait. She broke into a house, so I guess she has done something illegal already in this movie. But she decides she's gonna top it off with breaking out of prison.
Yeah, so she breaks out of prison.
Even if you were illegally in prison, breaking out of jail,
she kind of got out very easily. She kind of got out very easily.
Yeah, she got out easily, but like breaking out of prison is still illegal. So like, wouldn't she go to jail afterward anyway because she broke out of prison? Right?
Yeah. So she finds a like tow truck person and throws him out, and when he's thrown out, cut to a cameo from by Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch is in a trash can and admits he's making a short cameo.
Yeah. Oh, and another fact was at the end, when the Muppets are this may be a spoiler, but when the Muppets are traveling back to America, apparently Oscar the Grouch was supposed to be with them and going back to America, but that was like cut out of the original.
Justice for Oscar.
Yeah, justice for Oscar.
No. Yeah. But Oscar the Grouch. No, wait, he's not the plot point. What happens after this? Piggy steals a motorbike.
Yeah.
That just falls out of a thing.
Yeah. And then...
and Piggy rides his motorbike
during this,
all the way to the museum.
The Muppets and the thieves, we cut to the thieves taking the diamonds out, but then the Muppets have gotten onto the...
Yeah, the Muppets come through the ceiling glass or whatever.
We forgot to talk about... There's this running, like, a joke or running gag where every time, like, Kermit says we caught them red-handed, so someone always goes, what color?
Bad, because I did not get this joke.
You didn't get it?
What do they mean? What color?
Red-handed, red color. Red's the color, and so they're asking have the colors of their hands changed.
Yeah, but that's not a good joke.
But it's funny that they keep repeating it, though.
So if you say something enough, it becomes funny.
Oh, brother. Okay.
Sorry, I'm taking this movie too seriously again. Jeez, but they fight over the diamond, the Muppets and the criminals. When Piggy busts in.
So wait,
we do not need to psychoanalyze this scene.
When they're
it's
fighting
random.
out the diamonds, so they call it the baseball diamond, and so of course they have to play baseball with it.
Yeah, they play baseball with the biggest diamond.
Yeah, this is a big
it's
diamond.
It's obviously fake, by the way. Yeah, but
probably the size of a baseball.
It's this diamond the size of a baseball. It'd be worth a butt ton.
Yeah, and so so the thieves get the diamond and have caught Kermit.
They can,
and so then Piggy breaks the window with her motorcycle.
On a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And hits the guy, hits Mr. Holiday, who's holding a gun and holding Kermit and holding the diamond.
And Piggy just breaks them, and so...
Yeah, Piggy just crashes in and says, not today, sucker.
And so we see them getting arrested. We see Kermit and Piggy talk it out, and then they're on the plane, and then they jump out of the plane and back to America.
Yeah.
And
that's the end.
Yeah, and so
the credits end like there's a great...
Well, during the credits, they are erasing the first song they seen in the movie.
Yes, I would like to say that I did, for some weird reason, appreciate that they ended the movie with the Muppets in the sky. Like they started the movie. It was this weird, like, bringing it back around, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought it was very clever.
I don't know why I enjoyed that. It's a Muppet movie. But, yeah, that's the Great Muppet Caper.
It was a pretty
final
great film.
Thoughts? It was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Fantastic puppetry.
Yeah, it's the best Muppet movie by far. Don't listen to the other people. I mean, that's their opinion.
I haven't watched enough Muppet movies.
My opinion, yeah.
I'm still trying to think if it's better than A Muppet Christmas Carol. Maybe.
I think it is.
Yeah, because the Christmas Carol's just been done a lot.
Yeah,
but
I think
it's April. What are we doing talking about Christmas?
Okay.
So I think we ought to rate it.
Rate it. I'm gonna give it.
What are you gonna give it, man?
Here, have yours
you
first.
Can't. Okay. So I give stars. Zion usually makes up a rating system.
I'm gonna give it
4 stars.
I'm gonna give it 9.5 bellhopper rats. And
that's the wrong movie. There aren't Are there bellhopper?
It's a joke in the movie.
Yes,
it's a joke in
You're
the
right.
movie.
Sorry.
Bellhopper rats.
I'm sorry, man.
So 9.5 bellhopper rats.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yes. 9.5.
Yeah.
Jeez. Is that out of how many bellhopper rats?
Out of 10 bellhopper rats.
Well.
So, yeah.
I think that means
really
we just finished our second podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks
There's
for
links to
watching.
social media and stuff in the bottom. Please support those.
Please support those.
We'll give updates and crud. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry if we were long-winded explaining the movie. We're going to try to cut that down in the future. As always, we're not normal film critics. We're amateur film critics. So do not take our opinion seriously. But goodbye, y'all.
Goodbye, y'all.
Bye-bye.